Go ahead. Make my day.
Sass me.
Needle the wop wops. Gonna laser you in the face with my woppy wop wops.
My lord. Stormtrooper.
My lord.
Stormtrooper.
My lord.
Stormtrooper.
Lana. Lana. Lana!
What? Danger zone.
All right. Hopefully this is all working now. Stupid OBS. I'm just expecting something catastrophic to crash at some point. Hello, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. And you know that sigh at the start of the Stormtrooper command? That's basically been me all fucking morning. Because I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and deal with the whole shed situation. You can't be reasonable with unreasonable people. And sweet baby Jesus. Ah, dear. Yeah, honestly, Serenity, I have a feeling it is probably going to get to that stage. I'm still kind of hoping that it won't. So I dug out the agreements, and I had a read through, and I had put in many clauses about if they'd failed to empty it by the end of February, then it would then be emptied at insert name here, cost. So there's not a lot they can do about it legally. I found around a few like men with truck type people to come and see. They're going to come down over the rest of this week and give me quotes for how much it's going to cost to empty it. So I kind of spent but they can make you like fucking hell and kick you. They can kick me out of this shed. Yes, they can kick me out of this shed, and they can also turn all the electric off to this shed. Which honestly, at some point, I'm kind of expecting. I'm not gonna lie, but yes, that is very, very, very true. But I mean, there is really no but, other than the fact I don't really care anymore. Oh, highway to hell, baby. So yeah, so I spent a lot of the morning talking to family, getting nowhere. And then I kind of cleared out all the, like, put all the good stuff to one side. So I can, because the people can only come like during the afternoon, all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, well, shed's open. All the good stuff is over here, so don't worry about that. I just need a quote for everything else to be taken out and dumped. And kind of like told my dad I was going to do this. And then he suddenly realized that both of his mobility scooters were in the bad side of things to be dumped. And I was like, well, as far as I'm concerned, they're trash. If you don't want them to be trash, put them somewhere else. You have other sheds. There are many sheds you can use to put your mobility scooters in. They sent you that thing you could have brought for, fairly cheap and put it exactly where you wanted it. So yeah, wasn't happy about that. I have also taken pictures of all the rubbish that is in it. Because I mean, it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be at his cost anyway. So if he does decide to load up the shed while I'm streaming with more rubbish, it's just he has to pay to get rid of it anyway. So I guess it doesn't really make a hell of a lot of difference. But I was like, just in case. And of course, the fact that they're not meant to go in that shed anymore. And every time he's like, after the end of February, he's put his scooter in there and charged it up. He has been breaking the letter of the agreement, but it's fine, you know. All right. We haven't even built the hub. I don't know where I want to build the hub. Demonstrate the course even after you reminded them they continue to add rubbish. Yes. And I don't want to be in this kind of mindset. Like, like I said, in reality, there's not that much of a rush to get the rubbish out. I just don't believe they will ever do it unless I force it. And I don't want to fucking force it. Because I even said to them, look, okay, you don't want to pay a lot. The cheapest option is going to be you hire a skip, which I think is around like 200 something for a large skip, which is, it may take more than one large skip, but anyway, I don't know, just hire the skip, have it dumped, and I'll do all the manual labor, right? I don't mind doing the heavy lifting, right? Even though I don't have to and I don't need to, I don't mind doing it, but I don't want to, and I can't really bear the cost of doing it, especially when you consider what 2-3 years ago I cleared that shed out anyway. This is what Satisfactory is all about, right? Just going around collecting lots of bushes. All right, we found some limestone. They're going to take advantage. Yeah, that's the problem. So, but no, that they didn't agree to that, and I've now said I won't do that. Like, if they hire a skip, they're also going to have to get people in to do the work because they were being bastards about it. And I can be just as unreasonable as them, if that's how we want to play this game. So there's that, and then that turned into a...
This semi-slug species seems to persist entirely through absorbing and storing energy from its surroundings. Studying this could store this potential...
Shut up, AI lady. AI is ruining everything. So that kind of turned into a more general browbeating of how I don't really do anything to help out anymore. Like, you know, because I think I told you late last year I stopped doing most of the gardening, even though I then did it because it was getting too much of a mess. I just couldn't stand the mess, but
potential edible with the human store the...
And then it came down to, so again, you probably remember just before the nephew headed off to university, he well, you know, with a lot of help, did up my dad's kitchen and some other places in the house, like got rid of all the rubbish and all that kind of stuff and made the kitchen usable, put a new worktop floor, that kind of thing. And then a deal was struck that between my dad and my sister, they would keep it tidy. I don't know why that deal was struck. I don't know the ins and outs of that deal, but that was the deal, right? Because one of my arguments about doing up the kitchen and the way that they were doing it is that they were not considering the fact that it still was no real use for my dad, and it was just the problems were just gonna repeat themselves. So basically, I knew it was coming, right? So the kitchen is now full of rubbish. Because he cannot get the bags. He can't take it. Like, so the problem is, so we have to pay by the black sack. And you can also like put into cardboard and plastic for recycling and stuff, which is free. So I said, buy him 3 small bins, right? Because he can't lift up heavy bin bags, but he can lift up small bags, right? So buy him 3 small bins, and we'll put 3 big bins out on the driveway, right? And I've got no problem on the nights that the rubbish has to go out, moving the bins to the side of the road so they can be picked out, right? What I'm not going to do, and I, said I was not going to do this, is I'm not going to be in charge of tidying up his kitchen, sorting out and separating all of his rubbish and putting it out in the bins and then putting the bins out, right? Because he says he can live and survive by himself. And that's the rules, right? They didn't want to go to the trouble of having to order 3 small bins from Amazon because, that's a huge burden. So they just got big bins. And then again, the deal was struck that my sister would help keep the kitchen tidy, because that was easier than just going out and buying 3 reasonably sized bins and actually making my dad do anything. Hasn't worked. It's full of rubbish. Apparently the mice are back, although honestly the cats do such a good job with the mice that they're not really a problem anymore. So yeah, turned the conversation on that, and then I just kind of walked away. They're probably still having the same conversation right now, honestly. They probably haven't even noticed I've left. But oh dear. And then they wonder why I interact with them so infrequently. All right, we should probably start pinging for things even. I'm doing all right. Actually, I'm doing all right. I did a little bit more work on Necromancer's Journey just to, because I think, like I said, I've rushed the finish just so I can get it to a point where I can leave it to one side for a little bit. But I don't want to forget the ideas that I had for the finish. But I still need to be fleshed out. But I got the main points down, and I just wanted to do a little bit extra on that. So I'm kind of happy that I can put that to one side now and leave it alone while I try to get something a little bit quicker and easier out by end of April. And then I was working on that project. Does my M button, no, my M button doesn't work. Okay. Oh, I don't have the map yet because I haven't built the hub, I think. All right. So it looks like copper and iron ore is both over here. So let's go have a look over this direction. So that was good. The only problem, it's a fairly fundamental big problem in all fairness that I'm having with the new story, is I've decided I kind of want to do it as a mystery book. Part of the reason for that is because at some point I really want to get Lionel Richie Killer out, and I'm having trouble there layering in the mystery in written form. I understand how to do it for like TV, because you can put in a lot of visual clues, and if you really need to, you can really just pull the camera to grab someone's attention if you're desperate. Not that's not how I would do it, but you can. But then trying to kind of, I don't know, try and trying to kind of write around what it is you're trying to tell people, but not do it in a way that's it's obvious that's what you're trying to tell them. I'm having real trouble with on the Lionel Richie side. So I was like, okay, let's try and take this time to kind of get better at writing mysteries. So this one is a much simpler mystery from start to finish. And I was like, okay, so the kind of surrounding stuff for the story is coming along quite well. Like the main character, I think I've got fairly fleshed out. I am definitely going around there, kind of, two detectives from different tracks being forced together kind of thing, because it's just a nice general trope that's easy to write. That was going all right. I've got completely lost. What were we talking about? So the main character is a witch. I've been flip-flopping in my imagining of the witch, what she looks like, and therefore what her character is more like. So one side of me has got her named Agnes, which is a family name, and in that version, she looks like you would probably think like a normal witch would look like, right? Other than the green skin from certain properties, like old, bent over, crooked nose, little bit nasty kind of thing. And then in the other version I've imagined so far, she's called Annabelle, and she's not much younger. In fact, she's probably not younger at all. But she's more kind of hippie granny mixed with sorority girl, if that makes sense. And I don't know which one to go with at the moment. I'm probably going to go with the rich granny mixed with sorority girl, because that one makes me smile more. Oh God, that was close. Where were those nodes we were looking for? I believe they may be up there. Oh, they weren't in that poison area, were they? Because that would suck. And then, because she's a witch, I've given her a familiar, who is very sarcastic, and is a kind of cat, dragon, phoenix hybrid. Who can grow and shrink in size at will. For some reason, I'm going to cough again. Don't ask questions. Echedronix. ALP, how's it going? Welcome. And then I've done and then I've come up with the kind of if you've read some of my stuff before, I kind of have a fascination with the idea of paladins being detectives for some reason. Oh, hello. I'm not going to have what you need because I haven't even built the hub yet. Unless what you need is here. Also, my hands are full. Oh, if you don't need anything, that I can do. That I can accomplish. Although I can't pick you up right now. I guess we'll get rid of some leaves.
Damaged heart, any recover.
Yeah. And yeah, so he's very by the book, very religious, very pious. Follow the rules. Your general rule following middle management detective. We'll find these things at some point, I swear. think we found them. But have we got so lost that these were the ones that were really far away? It is pure. And the copper is nowhere near them. Or is there copper nearby as well? I suppose that's water down there, is it? It might be. It's a long way down, though. That is also pure. I need limestone nearby. I was hoping that's going to be limestone up there. All right. This may not be a bad place to set up the hub. What the fuck has happened? OBS has definitely gone wrong. Everything is clicking at me. The fuck you, OBS. It might be it might be time for me to find an OBS replacement. Because yeah, sound went awful. The game was hitching. OBS kind of all went black, and now it's fine again. But I'm assuming it's going to go wrong again at some point. Oh god, but I left Streamlabs because at the time Streamlabs was worse than OBS. Also, apologies if you got some feedback from the headphones there. Oh, I wonder if OBS has updated itself again. Yeah, it has. It has. It's updated to the latest version again by itself. And they still won't admit that there's anything wrong with this version, even though it is absolute hot garbage. I mean, I guess we go for as long as we can. Yeah, auto updated, I've turned off. It's like Microsoft Autos updates. I turn those off all the time, and yet suddenly you're on a new version of Windows. There. I could block the update server in the router, that is true. But should I have to? Alright, we don't even have ramps yet. You're going to be our biggest stumbling block then. As always. It is funny. OBS seems to always know when I'm having a bad day. And it's like, yeah, this is the day I be a bastard. This is the day. I kind of built this the wrong. Yeah, it's fine. Right, let's grab some leaves and then let's crank out some biomass. But yes, other than that, I hope everyone is. What were we talking about? Yeah, but the biggest problem I'm having with the new story is so I know what the crime is. What I'm having trouble at the moment is coming up with a reason behind the crime. You should probably come up with a reason first rather than I want this to happen and then try to force it backwards. But I don't know if the Raspberry Pi would be strong enough to do anything like that. And I would probably have to get, well, unless I want to do like shove it over NDI, which would be over the internet, over the network. I would have to get a USB capture card, and I have no idea how well they run on Linux. I'm assuming NDI runs on Linux. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Which could work. I don't know, I may just have to do a complete reset of OBS, but then I've got to set up all my sound alerts and all that kind of shit again. Which is a collection of open source drivers and other software for video capture devices. So yeah, it's definitely possible. That could work. We need to go and put this in this side. Yes. Okay. But yeah, I have no idea what the encoding power of a Raspberry Pi is, right? The new NVIDIA graphics card when it comes out is meant to have a vastly improved encoder engine. I'm kind of keeping my eye on that. Not that I can afford one, but yes, other than family nonsense and self-imposed story problems, I'm doing all right. It's going to be a lot of manual building. There. Oh, you see how they're doing it on the Pi? Send some videos from my review. Okay, I'll take a look at those. Short answer, Steam Link. The weather's nice at least, which is always good. Dear. It is here, yeah. It's nice and sunny and warmish when you're in the sun. Still fairly cold if you're not in the sun, but warmish in the sun. It's just from zero here in rain, so it feels like negative numbers. All right, while that is going, we need to find some limestone we can actually get to. Oh, that's also pure. Okay. Yeah, I still haven't come up with a. Well, I mean, I haven't even named the main character yet, so of course I haven't come up with a title for the new, the new story idea yet. But that's gonna hurt. Oh, we didn't. Is also pure, which is, well, will be nice once we can make use of pure. All right, who remembers the way back to base? I sure as hell don't. Still not sleeping well. But I am starting to sleep a little bit better, which is a positive sign. Yeah, we got the hub. Home is where the hub is, or something. That's still nowhere near enough concrete. There's never enough concrete. Until you get wet concrete, and then there's loads of concrete. Do I just shove it all in to get base building done? Probably not going to build anything else until... Yeah, we don't have wet concrete. Unless you mean the save before that. And yeah, we had quite a lot of concrete running around. Wasn't in the right places, but we did have quite a lot of concrete. Oh, we'd actually used a lot less than I thought, but then these things aren't running very consistently. All right. You were transportation chief? Yes. And if you remember, we were getting towards building a big kind of factory / distribution hub in the middle, and then the game started crashing.
Oh, you are a professional, Boss Bird.
Hey, cheers for the commercial as well. It is very much appreciated. Dear. So yeah, so there will also be a I can't remember where I put the Necromancer's Journey, what channel I put it on, but I'm very tempted to start a new YouTube channel just for riding stuff. I started making a video about how trying to do there's no witch command at the moment, trying to do videos, like there are so many projects where videos make a lot of sense, right? And you can kind of make them quite interesting, like all the people who do like engineering projects, home decorating projects, like painting, all that stuff. There's always something to record, something to show, and something very interesting. And I was just sitting there going, how do you make writing in any way seem interesting on the camera? If anyone's got any ideas. All right. So the first thing we're going to want to waste resources on to bring in is going to be the concrete. Although if we've got base building, yeah, we'll try and get to that node that's closer first. Still not 100% convinced this is enough, but if I did the maths, I'd know, but then the suspense would be over. But yeah, I'll do a video explaining why I'm kind of putting Necromancer to one side and kicking off new project. And then I need to remember how I made all the word counting stuff work for Necro. This actually won't be too bad to bring in as well. We're going to want to tie this in as quickly as possible. Because again, you need, the more concrete you got early game, the better you are. I've lost the hub. There we go. And I'm not saying that because there's some mafia types threatening to break my knees. Dear. We shall write an interface that allows the Twitch user the ability to claim a common word in the English language. H1K can use said word during writing. It will deal damage to a boss that needs to be fought. Well, I think on the Twitch side, if you're streaming it, it would be easier. You'd have to be willing to write the story completely in the open, I think, and then I think you would have to open it up to. I don't know if anyone remembers some of the early webcomics where they would kind of do like a cliffhanger at the end of every week and kind of like you could vote for 2 or 3 options. Because yeah, I can see how like trying to write a story together live could be fairly interesting. I'm not saying the result would be any good, but I think the process could be quite fun. But yeah, trying to do like a YouTube video series of, oh, look how well my book is getting on. Here's some words on a page. Oh, look, it's been 2 more weeks. Here's some more words on a page. All right, concrete. Now, if I do a Guernsey-based one, I can think of more videos to do, because obviously when I set it in local places, I can kind of go and try and record there and come up with interesting Guernsey facts. Hitler built this particular section of the island to do X. Oh dear. All the interesting facts are about
Milestone
Jersey.
reached. Several
Lies.
new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which may, in the event, be...
Alright. Oh yeah, I have to wait for you to come back. We're going to need to make him wire. Well, that is a very interesting question, Rhino, because at the moment there aren't any ferries from Guernsey to Jersey or vice versa. Because we've gone from having one ferry company doing all of the Channel Island, well, Guernsey and Jersey, to Guernsey and Jersey having their own different ferry companies doing the routes. I believe at one point there will be one ferry that you can do from Guernsey to Jersey. Not day trip though. But there is now a new ferry company trying to start up that will do day trips from Guernsey to Jersey. You are also a pure node. Okay, good. Is there even enough travel to warrant a startup for that? I think probably yes. Question mark. Because I'd imagine they would only do like one sailing a day. Because yeah, I don't know what the plan is. Whether they try to do Guernsey to Jersey and Jersey to Guernsey in the morning, so you can do like day trips on both sides, and then obviously vice versa to get everyone back home. I don't know. I would imagine it'd be a fairly small boat, like maybe 100, 200 passengers tops. What were we doing? I never know. Okay, so the other trouble with Jersey's harbour is that Jersey's harbour is tidal. So you can only get into Jersey harbour at certain times. Now, I don't know if they've got a smaller boat, whether that becomes less of an issue. But it used to be on the ferries. It was about an hour trip over to Jersey. But I think you can do it quicker than that. All right. There are flights, yes, but the flights are very expensive. I'm probably going to need an equipment workshop. Need some iron plates. Yeah, I need a second smelter as well, wouldn't I, really? Nope, wrong one. Also not what I meant to do, but that's fine. Yeah, and I've written a few bits for the new book. I think the introduction I think is pretty much done, which is nice. That's like a few thousand words. I think the end is almost done as well. I've never written a book like this where I've kind of done the end first. Is also kind of done. I need to make it all make sense. And at the moment it doesn't. Nope. I was already at the right one. Now, where did I put my equipment workshop? Where did I put my equipment workshop? Did I destroy it? Oh, could I not build it because we didn't have the iron plate? Is that what we need the iron plate for? That makes sense. I know what's happening. My main problem with this, well, if we don't know where the base is going, I guess it doesn't really matter. Right, now we need some rods. Didn't get around to that. Thank you for putting the clip in though. I will get around to that. can I make a... Yes. Okay, we're getting very close to our limits now. Right, so you're 120. You're stuck at 60 though. So yeah, so I can't run two at you yet until I got Mark 2 belts. So we'll just leave it at that. Because again, we don't want to build too much here because we've got to work out what the actual factory is going to look like at some point. Maybe. Sure, we'll get around to it.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to...
Yeah, you like your tool erect buildings, I know. I'm tempted to build it from that level there. Now let's go grab the limestone. We'll have the little portable miners down here. We're going to want to build a power plant so we can belt feed the power rather than the ones attached to the hub where you have to manually feed them. I swear it was around here somewhere. Oh dear. I've watched a couple more episodes of Stargate. They haven't found Atlantis yet, but they're getting pretty fucking close. They've introduced the character and the correct actress who leads Atlantis for the first few seasons until... I have a feeling it's Carter who takes over when Stargate SG-1 ends in 2 seasons' time. Take the ships back. Oh, wait, that's what we're researching now, isn't it? Maybe I do want to prioritize this. We've got to get a little bit of a base going here. I think that's probably the highest point as far as we want to go. I'm not going to do concrete for all that though, so maybe we just go this far. Don't buy parachutes and then go jumping off this thing. That's just going to lead to trouble. I probably don't have a lot of iron plate at the moment, over, do I? I have none. I got 75. Yeah, I found sulfur, I know. Shush. There's also a mysterious cave. And spider cats. Oh, hello, second pure copper. I'll grab you in a little bit, blue slug. Ooh. That is not water down there. At least not directly down there anyway. Okay, alright, that's fine. Do not have the resources for this, yeah. Alright, we don't have the chainsaw either to get these trees out of the way. I like how I walked all the way over to the natural slope just to jump off it anyway. I may as well just done that here. I'm going to fall down that hole at some point. We still don't have a lot of building resources. Damn, that's all the concrete I had. Bollocks. Disappointing. Can I get back up there? All right, so you're going to be putting out 120. I can only bring 60 at the moment over a belt, which means I can only run 2 smelters from you. That really doesn't look right, but I think it is. Alright, am I going to have enough for the belts? You're going to need a lift. And then copper. You're 30 each, right? Yeah. Okay, so that is then that side. At least up to smelters. We need more concrete. God, how long before I kill myself by jumping off all these things? Stop jumping over that gap. It's unnecessary danger. All right, bang some of these out. Oh, but yeah, I think my friend is dropping off it the old Raspberry Pi this afternoon. Well, this evening. Of course, what I didn't know as part of the deal is that he needed my help moving some heavy furniture, but that's fine. That's what friends are for. I think the only good positive, well, I mean, a lot of positive things probably from the new meds I'm on, but yeah, one of the obvious ones I'm feeling is my energy level, apart from when it crashes, is a lot better. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's meds or just because I'm enjoying writing again. We'll go with meds. Oh dear. Why not both? We probably are going to need some iron rods, but that's fine. We will just hang these out while we're here. But yeah, one of the other thing I've been trying to, because I'm trying to make the Necromancer's Journey isn't particularly funny. It's got some funny moments, but it's not a particularly funny book. With this Witch one, I'm definitely trying to make it funnier. And I've been writing some terrible, wouldn't even make it into a Naked Gun-esque jokes. Oh dear. How much are we? Well, we need to turn this all into wire first, and then we can turn some of it into cable. It's not going to be the most interesting thing to watch, but this is all I've got. I don't think Sniper Elite Resistance has gone on sale yet. I'm still waiting for that one to go on sale. I do want to pick it up, but I'm also, it turns out, a fairly cheap bastard. So you know, I'm also a little bit interested in Kingdom Come Deliverance too, but I feel I will get bored with it very quickly. Oh, I did see that Farming Simulator is finally releasing a VR game. And then I watched the trailer for it, and it looks awful. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick something up for the smoker. If I can get the Raspberry Pi thing working, I'll try and do a stream either on probably Friday. Assuming the weather's meant to hold up, I haven't actually checked that. Just because it's nice today, well, just because it's nice this minute doesn't mean it's going to be nice in the next hour. That's British weather for you. No, Friday is when it's meant to rain again. Oh, good. Good. Well, maybe if I can get the Raspberry Pi to work, we'll do a smoking stream tomorrow. And then there's... Okay, a little bit of cable here. We're going for aiming for turkey. It should be cheaper and healthier. Oh yeah, I got. I still need to go to the place that sells them at some point just to make sure they are still selling them, or will be selling them for the next season. But yes, I got nothing there for. I mean, I topped up with a new bag while I was doing the gammon, and there was a little bit left of the old one in there, so like 4 or 5 smokes worth of pellets. It may surprise you all to know I didn't actually want to come up here. I wanted to go there. Alright, so we can build this out a little bit. So realistically, we can save this one for getting ahead of copper sheet production. Alright, so we're now making 30 and 30, and we're going to have to bring those out into... We'll bring them down. I may want to move this completely. No, merge it. What I want. Don't know what happened there. We do have storage bins. I don't want to do a storage buffer bin there. We're going to take it straight into the constructors. Now, if I put you there, do I have enough room for the splitters? Yes. Alright, and you're 15, so I can run 4 of you. And there's room to expand both when we need to. Good, good. All right, and then merges. But no acquisitions. Are you 15 and 30 out? Okay, so I can't actually run it like this. All right, so for your investment strategy. And then cable is 60, which is both of these. Excuse me. Okay. I was going to say our next thing is going to have to be a power expansion. I'm just missing iron plate, you bitch. And I built these wrong way around, apparently. No, I tried to put it out of the wrong hole. A common mistake. All right. This was a mistake.
Oh, you better believe that's a bad one.
It's not because we ran out of fuel, is it? It's because we ran out of juice. There. It's all right. We have a solution, baby. Maybe. I was also doing some thinking about no, as soon as I said the word thinking, my brain was like, do you know what? I'm going to make you sound like an idiot here and make it so he can't think anymore. Well played, brain. Well played. Can't even be mad. Dear. Brain help. Alright, we now need to get some iron plates. Don't you steal my concrete! Also, I won't look up. That'd be rude. Don't you laugh at me. I'm out of iron rods, you bitch. I can build one. Suddenly we're in trouble. Alright, for now, can I hook you up into one of these? Grab some biomass from storage. Alright, that gives us a little bit of time. Okay, we're definitely running low on materials, but that's fine. And then, do I have enough? I believe if I build it from you, I can then put it on top of the bin. Or the merger. Shit, my iron rods. Alright, can I get you to connect to one of these? Alright, we're going to trip everything again, but... Alright, get you running as well, and then we can be prepared to belt feed you. Although we're not quite there yet. All right, so then we need to try and get iron production. Oh no, we need to go finish the storage up at copper first. Hey, cheers for the let right dog. And good luck. Oh yeah, I was thinking about game design because LP and I've been talking about things. I was trying to work out what our field of battle was going to look like. All right, so I need rods and plates. Okay. It'd be nice to have two, so I'm going to need 20 of each. So I can at least set that up to feed in from a bin for biomass, so we're less likely to run out as we try and get everything working.
Well,
Hey, hello and welcome,
hello,
welcome.
Mr. Fancy Pants.
All right, so there. Oh, hang on, we're going to need some more for belts. Clyde, you couldn't be in a worse place right now. Thank you. I really don't want to have to do that. But, okay. You need 10 per minute, so I can run 6 of those off a Mark 1 belt. Let's go grab all of the biomass we got. I'm gonna need belts. Alright, we will hope that is enough. We're just trying to get one more bin up here with the cable in it, so then we just let that run. Alright, so wire and cable are now... How much cable do you put out? 30 a minute. No, something isn't working properly here. Is this just because the power's been off and you haven't fed enough through yet? I didn't build this as a particularly good manifold or manifest or whatever the hell it is. Okay, that should even out. And we have this other pure copper one here. Which is good, but we need to start getting iron. It's going to be a lot of manual building. We're taking this slow. Yeah, did anything else happen this morning? I don't think so. I think that covers it. Everything that's happened this morning. Oh, so apart from the nausea, one of the worst side effects I've had so far, and they did warn me about this, is that like the bottom of the leg, like round by the ankles, can get incredibly itchy, and oh my god. That does seem to have passed now, luckily, but Jesus Christ. They must just know it's an incredibly common side effect or like initial side effect, because yeah, they do say it's not something that should carry on, and if it does, I've got to go and see him again. But oh, the list of because yeah, like they said, the nausea or nauseated feeling, I can never remember which word actually means you've actually been sick and which one is just the feeling. I always forget. They were like, that could last for like 1, 2, 3 months. And then anything beyond that, they would start to worry about it. The itching, they were like, from what we understand, from what everybody tells us, you normally get just like one real bad night of it. And then you'll probably be okay. And that is exactly what happened. After about 4 or 5 days in, just had like a real bad night. I was just, yeah, the bottom of both legs just being, just so itchy. Yeah. Imagine you were the scientist that had to study that. But yeah, other than that, I seem to be settling into these. I always get worried because when I was on the meds for bipolar, and I just had real bad times with those. I always worry when I'm on medication. But yeah, I seem to be settling into these, and I can't really not settle into these because. The alternatives ain't that great. Let's put it that way. Oh, dear. Yeah, so the next big challenge for me now is got to try and get down to a very... I mean, what for me, I think is not even a reasonable weight. I think I think they want me to go too light, personally, but they're the experts. I think I'm going to look like a fucking scarecrow if I can hit it. Oh, I need that plate. All right. I could just build myself a little ramp. I think I'm going to end up building myself a little ramp. Alright, where is that? Okay, it's here. You have to lose muscles to hit ideal, and that is after all the chunk? Yeah. Hey, and Aaron, thank you very much for the bits. For my son, I had to be fatherly, chewing on your electrical cord property. He had to be grounded. He's currently confounded, but he is now conducting himself properly. And thank you very much, Aaron. It does all help. And we are in March, so the old Twitch get to payout grind starts yet again. Ah, crap. I was hoping that was just going to be a little bit further out. You wonder if bits are subject to a 25% tariff? It wouldn't surprise me if they become such at some point. God, that means if you buy them on an Apple device, right, you'd be paying 55% in just taxes or tariffs. It's a good system. Dear. You think they will be coming out of the Canadian subsidiary? Dear. Yay, multinationals that bypass tariffs on digital goods. I never plugged that mining machine back in, did I? And I think I kind of stole its plug socket. Crap. It is plugged in though. You had a friend who would buy ebooks but change his address to Portland, Oregon, where there is no sales tax. He's a lawyer now? That checks out. All right, and then we're going to want to take these. All right, so we're making 60, and then we go out to constructors. I probably want to send you. I wanted to send you that way. Which may not work based on where I put the lift. We may be all right. All right, so you need. I mean, ideally, I would have you both doing those, but. And we're out of materials, which is a problem. Okay, we are at least now. Well, I mean, apart from screws. Making a little bit of everything. And we still have quite a bit of power headroom. Still good. That was closer than I would have liked. All right, we don't have any extra anything really. Are these all pure down here? Oh, nice. And this one? Okay, we got a pretty good iron factory going. Okay, I was hitting the right bit. All right, good. I need iron plate. All right, so for now. Well, let's go. Let's get empty out the limestone ones over here. Oh, touchwood. OBS hasn't crapped the bed again yet. So that's good.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
No, that would, mister. Hey, welcome back, Rydog. This game is running on my server, so at least this one will run when I'm not actively in it. Nuts and bolts and bolts and nuts. What am I doing? That's a good question, man. Let's bang out some concrete first. Yeah, I kind of look forward to if I can get the Raspberry Pi running. Especially if I can get it running off battery. And then... it is only Tuesday, yes. It is indeed. Oh, that reminds me. I need to charge up my wireless mics as well because I tend to use that a bit. See if they will work. And yeah, if it's successful, I may look into how much like a 5G modem pay-as-you-go thing costs. What a time to be alive, and not in a wonderment, amazement kind of way. Yeah. Yeah. As the old Chinese proverb goes, may you live in interesting times. As Deep Space Nine goes, we live in uncertain times. I'd feel so much more confident that this was just a 4-year blip if there was a decent opposition in America, but I mean, if Trump keeps on going the way he's going, he does actually fully align with Russia. And, you know, if anybody watched Jon Stewart, he's highlighted why Russia appeals to somebody like Trump. And the people pulling the strings. I don't know how you, after 4 years, assuming he's not King Trump by then and has found out a way to stay alive forever, I don't know how it's possible to kind of pull back, if that makes sense. Doesn't look like there is 5G broadband on the island yet. I thought we had 5G already. Okay, well, there you go. There's definitely 4G or something. Yeah. You'd be more confident if there were also a bunch of other countries going, good idea. Yeah. Yeah. My trouble is, so where I am, so Europe pulling away, the EU, pulling away from America, I think is probably more on the cards. And I think the rift between the US and the EU is just going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The EU being able to look after itself, I think it's about fucking time, honestly. But that's a different argument. My problem is, because we're technically part of the UK, yeah, that's the other thing within the EU, because even if the EU does split, the EU staying together could be very difficult. And, okay, it's great that the EU as a whole wants to start arming themselves again, but when the divisions in the EU start to come up again and everybody's got their own armies, EU is just in trouble all over again, right? Yeah, there's always Britain. Britain is always going to be in this weird middle spot. We're not European, we're not American, and it's just a very tiny little insignificant blip on the world, really. Oh dear. I think it's helpful to look across the pond and go, we don't want that, so we will work it out here. The CBC app is geolocked to Canada and free for Canada. If I was to arrange a VPN, would you watch our quaint TV shows? Oh dear. But probably. At least, yeah, I mean, at least for a little bit, right? I remember The Littlest Hobo. That was a good show. Okay, so we've done that. Oh dear. I could probably write Canadian TV shows. Yes, it's this swing back. Again, I don't know if anyone has watched the most recent Jon Stewart, but I think he put it fairly well in that they're going from the idea of the West as being a kind of, you know, idea that pushes liberty and values and stuff. Whether or not you agree with them is a completely different conversation, but, you know, they do kind of push freedom for all and all that kind of stuff. But they want to go back to the old Western values, which was essentially the Christian church or the Catholic Church, which is where Russia still is. And it's pushing back to that idea of the West. And Trump likes what Russia is doing. There's a growing faction in Germany that likes what Russia is doing. And historically, that's something to be concerned about. Also in France, but we all know what France is like. Tell them they actually have to do some work for it and they'll just strike and we'll all be fine. More than one way to raise a white flag. But no, it is definitely interesting times, and as much as I try to ignore it, I can't be one of these people who puts my head in the sand. And yeah, this idea of America having checks and balances all over the place just seems to evaporate. It's crazy. When there's no real enforcement, anyone is willing to do it doesn't work. Yeah. Also, is it just me? It probably is just me. I don't know. Because of the words most of them are saying. But when you get the Republican senators who are backing what Trump is doing, do they all just come across as slimy villains to everybody else? It's probably just because of, like, what I believe in. But it's not even their words. It's the look and everything of them, right? Like, is he called Lindsey Graham? I think he's called Lindsey Graham, the one I'm thinking of. Who looks a little bit like a fish who has just learned how to look like a person, but not really. And then it's just like, my God. Like, I'm not saying you should base someone's goodness purely based on how good they look, but maybe there is a correlation we should be aware of. Oh, dear. He's the one that got busted for hiring male escorts, you believe? We'll do this. Oh, shucks, I understand how this is bad, and then proceed to vote for it. I just, yeah, I mean... Yes, this whole weird idea that Ukraine is being stubborn by not capitulating to an invading force. And I don't know if you're just not allowed to ask them, okay, Russia's invaded America and say they want to keep half of it. You game, are you? You're doing that? The fuck you are. You're carrying that war on until the bitter fucking end. Oh, dear. Yeah, the EU is stepping up. The trouble is, and I've said this to other people before, so regardless of if the EU steps up or not, Trump will be able to frame that as a win for his politics, which is the, I don't know whether you want to call it the insidious side or the clever side, or however you want to see that. It is entirely up to you. But, you know, it's kind of like the Sith Lords in Star Wars when they were playing both sides of the Clone Wars, right? They There was no way they could lose that war because they'd set it up beautifully. I hope the EU steps up. I honestly hope Britain sides with the EU. I honestly never thought I would say myself, hear myself saying that, because, you know, we have always normally been more in line with thinking with America, or the US, sorry, than we have with Europe. But now it's just like, no, fuck that. You think Republican politicians are surprised at how many of their base actually support Ukraine? Yeah, I mean, you're fighting against everything that you've been told, especially in the US. You know, Russia has been your enemy for how many years now? Like, Russia's your France to the UK. This is all short term, but the world has changed. No one is ever going to trust the US again, and maybe we're all better off for it. But it is a new world. Yes, but the trouble with this new world is, and I don't think Trump has thought this through, and I think, again, this is the trouble with most of Republican politics, is they don't actually think things through. A strong EU is not good for the US in any way whatsoever. A weak EU, even though you're, you know, America, the US does put a lot of money into the defense of the EU, 100%, he is not wrong, and we probably have been taking the piss for a long amount of time. Again, he's not wrong. But I believe it was by American design that that's how that worked, right? It gave America control of the pie. Forcing Europe to take that back, and in the way that they're doing it, where it's very adversarial, I don't think ends up well for America. There has, at some point, there's going to be blows, right? As a Canadian, we never said whether the US liked Britain more, even though we were also there each time. We were like the third wheel little brother. Oh, dear. He saw this in the first time by crying about how European partners weren't paying into NATO enough. Yeah, and honestly, that was one of the points that he was correct on. Like, 100%, he was correct on that point. And I understand why you would, as America, and as someone who sees himself as, like, because he sees everything as a deal, right? It's not politics with Trump. Everything is a deal. He's trying to sell you a car. That's all he wants to do. He wants to sell you the car and be able to go to his boss. I don't know who his boss is, his wife, I don't know. And say, I sold that car and I really scammed that bastard, right? And I don't think that's the way you should look at politics, but hey. It's a weird hybrid isolationist. Yes, it is, yeah. Trudeau, before he goes out, is basically signing trade deals with all of Asia and Europe right now. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Because I heard rumor, I don't know if it's true, I heard rumor that they are actually going to start sending their oil to Europe to be processed. Because again, and I don't know how much of this is true, because I have no idea how much you can trust any news source these days. The world is becoming a horrible place where it's hard not to start being a conspiracy theorist. Like, it's 1984. They make it so you can't trust anyone. And I hate it. I don't know why we're going down this road. But anyway. Yes, I had no idea that, and again, I don't know how true this is, that Canada didn't really refine any of its oil. It kind of sends it down crude into America and then pipes the refined fuel back up. There is no casino in Jersey, but you can bet on the ponies, can get a KFC after a visit to the racetrack. Spend the money, you're dependent on us policy. That's the whole road from Africa to China thing. Yeah. It's conflicted between building an east-west pipeline for Atlantic plus information exports from north-south to the US. Guess which one is now on the table? Electricity rates are doubled in New England because they get most of their power from Canada. We have refineries, but the US has so much more refineries. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, as Canada, and again, I like the fact, I very much like the fact that one thing that Trump has proved is that within the world, there is still a little bit of stubbornness, right? A little bit of fuck you, you twat, right? I'm so glad it exists. It may lead to a war, but I'm so glad it exists. I really am. We'll just build a longer pipeline to Europe and they can refine our petrol or oil for us. Didn't see that one coming, did you? We're going to do a mod retreat in Jersey, the Better Channel Island, and they have a KFC, and I know you have to gamble before we indulge. The Trump admin is using bully tactics, and I'm glad that Canada is standing up to it. Yeah. Yeah. And again, if Canada starts refining its oil, that is a complete backfire of what Trump wants, even though he'll be able to sell it as a win, because again, that is how he and his political base work. Right, and then we need to put in a couple of storage bins. Okay, I didn't do that quite right. Not surprised. And then this one is going to merge. Oh no, I did get that right the first time. Will that bend in there? Just like Beckham. Alright, I like it. The East Coast has a lot of natural gas, which you folks in the EU really like. Yeah, and of course, from a green perspective, I can't see any of this being good, right? I'm pretty sure England is going to start more, was it the North Sea, I think, where all our oil and gas is. Because again, yeah, I think we are going from a global world to a every country for itself mentality again, and it's such a fucking shame. And in a way, I blame all of this, the start of all of this, on fucking Brexit. I still think it's our fault. The reason the pipe got stalled is because of environmental concerns. Shit needs to go through mountains. Yeah, I mean, environmental concerns won't get in the way soon. You blame Gwen Stefani. You blame it on the rain. I blame it on the boogie. Oh, wait, no, I can't blame it on the boogie. No, I do blame it on the boogie. I can't blame it on the sunshine, right? It is, we learned it from you, Energy, but Ronald Reagan put us on this road. But yeah, and like I say, I honestly think if Europe looked at the US and thought, okay, it's just going to be another 4 years of this buffoon, we can last out 4 years. I don't think anyone would be as worried, but I think most of the world probably believes that Trump will be president until he dies. Or if not, we'll have some kind of succession plan in mind. Fucking Ronald, goddamn, glad he's running in the motherfucking ground, Reagan. But no, I do find it a shame. The world does seem to be getting smaller again, which is not the way I was hoping it was going to go. And then you've got bloody Elon Musk doing whatever the fuck he is doing, which is just terrible. And I mean, the main thing Elon Musk seems to be doing at the moment is losing Tesla investors a lot of money, and I'm all right with it. Oh dear. All right, so we need 300 screws. And backtracking on the amount of money he saved us. Oh, yeah, it's like I was saying to someone the other day. There needs to be somewhere that is keeping track of all of the Doge stuff, right? Because I was just like saying that, okay, they fired a bunch of people, but they've also rehired a bunch of people. What is the actual difference now between those? With everybody who has been fired, did they get severance and have now been brought back on? How much does that cost you? Like, there's got to be a, like, for a program like that, there has to be a reasonable way to track it, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Whatever they're actually fucking doing, I don't honestly know. But he'll manipulate the market, not get in trouble, and be just fine with his 36 billion in government contracts. Yeah. We're talking about how the rest of the world is affected, but you have no idea how much of the US will be left after it's pillaged. Just showing that no one can read contracts and they have no idea how much actually works, which is hilarious. There are some places that are doing that. And yeah, and for the Americans who are against this, I do feel sorry for you, because there really isn't anyone you can get behind as a viable, like even as a viable protest. All right, okay, maybe because of how Trump is working the American government right now, there's not a lot you can do about it. But yeah, you can't even get behind like a unified message or a unified person or whatever, right? All that money is going into crypto. I think there's a lot of support for crypto, because I think a lot of people are worried about the US dollar is not going to be the de facto. Is not going to be the de facto currency for long. Because yes, I think a lot of people do not trust the US anymore. It's they can't say it, because America is too powerful still, but yeah. Because a fun part of all of their saving stuff, there's been an independent source of tracking government spending for 20 years. They don't need to raid the coffers. Again, if you're going to try and get rid of... Because yeah, like I've said before, I do not disagree with the central theme of Doge, which is to try and make your government as lean and effective, you know, to make the most out of taxpayer money as possible. I fully support that message. You know, bloated bureaucracy isn't good for anybody, but that's not what they're doing. I think other than Bitcoin, I think you're probably right with the scams. I think there's probably a couple of other ones that are probably, I don't want to say legitimate, but are probably being treated as more legitimate. You know, I mean, Bitcoin is a great way of moving money around the world with absolutely zero regulation. I believe the American government has got quite a lot of money in Bitcoin right now, I think. There's always some ways to trim, but wholesale slaughter without looking at the repercussions. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And again, get rid of the obvious targets. For, you know, well, again, it's easier for me because I do not believe in trickle-down economics. I've never been rich to see the benefit of what trickle-down economics actually is. You know, so to me, getting rid of all of the things like supporting drug research for large pharmaceutical companies to then just turn around and pay you a shit ton of money for those drugs. I don't know why a taxpayer would want to do that, honestly. But then you're going to put that in. They're going to say, "Oh, you don't want to do cancer research." I was like, "Oh, that's not what I said," and that's not what I said. You word twisting bastards. This is more of a comment about the tech industry in general. Just because you don't understand how something works does not mean it works shitty. Just because the tech pros don't understand how a central bank and currency regulation works doesn't mean you can do a better job. Yeah, and I think there's this weird idea of, and again, I am not a huge fan of regulation and red tape. I'm a big fan of free trade, and I'm a big fan of, okay, there has to be some central laws, and like we don't want to go back to child labor, although honestly I think that's probably back on the cards, and all this kind of thing. And I'm probably, I am British, I am European, I probably would have more of a social security net than most Americans would go for, just because I think that's a nice thing to have. But yeah, I'm not a fan of overburdensome regulation. And I think there are times when you should be able to question regulation. I think that's the problem is, and I don't know what it's like in America, but I'll talk about a story that I was involved in. So our finance industry is regulated for a good reason. The finance service is regulated because you don't want criminal money flowing through it. Blah, blah. You don't want to end up, finding out you funded terrorism, all this kind of stuff. So there's regulation. And it makes a lot of sense. Our regulator went way above and beyond what they should have been doing. And every time a company questioned it, they would suddenly be raided and fined for some incredibly small misdemeanor. Right? Incredibly small. So our finance regulator was running like a mafia shakedown company. And it really was. But the press couldn't cover it because then no one would do business here, because if our regulator is bad, why is anybody going to come and do business here? Like, it was hushed up and it's never got better. So I do understand that at times your regulator has to be questioned and brought to account, right? And maybe they are being a little bit stupid with their rules. But yes, more often than not, regulation is brought in because somebody sees a need to protect somebody. And I understand that. And that is, that is a great thing. But because did I hear they were trying to get rid of the regulator that you always talk about when I'm doing this, like OSHA or whatever it is, the one that does factory safety? All right. We probably need to do that next. What do I need for park clearing, actually? Yeah, we'll do that next, actually. We could probably just get that done. They don't care about anyone else. They just want to move money where it's most beneficial for them in their pockets. Yes. That is the trouble. That is the trouble. When you put the billionaires and you allow the businesses to influence your political decisions, your regulator is not going to be worth the time and effort. They made your food safety industry run, and you see how well that has worked out. Hey, cheers for the lurk on Owen. And I'm also a big believer in freedom of speech. I think you should be able to question all of these things without fearing repercussions. And I feel like in America, that is just not happening. The UK also did some stupid things regarding freedom of speech and taking people to court for things they shouldn't have done, but regulation stifles innovation. No, if you can't work within the regulations, you're lousy at innovation. I think there's two sides to that argument. I tend to agree with you, Serenity, but at the same time, if the person innovating can argue with the regulator that, it's not going to harm anybody if we do something slightly differently, right? But if your answer is just to pay your congressman to lobby whoever to get rid of the regulation, then yes, you're probably just trying to get rid of the regulation to save yourself $1 or $2 and possibly kill Bob. And do you know what? I'm not all right with that. Unless Bob is a dick. But even then.
Milestone reached.
Yeah, we will make some screws just because we're not making any at the moment.
Maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size.
They just want to ignore environmental and health regulations. They could do yes. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with innovation. That is just let me do what I want.
Explore and exploit.
100%. And yes, I do not agree with that. All right. If I wanted to make El Chainsawrino, what would I need? What's already in my pockets? But Bob's my uncle? I never had an Uncle Bob. Alright, we're going to need to make some solid biomass to make this work. Oh dear. You did. He had a kick-ass house on a beautiful lake. That's what they mean by stifling. Yeah, most of the time that is what they mean when they cry stifling innovation, yes. And the NTSB safety checks, funnily enough, Tesla doesn't like those. No, and again, when you've got... Sorry, not Elon Musk, that random bureaucrat who was on holiday in Mexico running Doge. It's not Elon Musk, because that would clearly be a conflict of interest. Oh, no, wait. He'll know when it's a conflict of interest, and he'll excuse himself, therefore creating a conflict of interest. That's probably fine. All right, so now we kind of want to expand this to try and get this onto solid biofuel as quickly as we can. So we're going to want a... no, it's going to be easy to do 2 constructors leading into that. All right, we may need a little bit more room. Is it this little bit of sand? Oh no, it's going into the bin. Okay, I see. No, I'm being an idiot. That's not how that works at all. There's a reason why there's 2 and they're separate. constructor in here. I don't know if we've got the room. Alright, so we may need to bring it in, down. Oh no, wait, the main one should be here. A buffer bin would have been better. But until we can get this on a level 2 belt, we can't really run it this way anyway, so that will at least be a good place to start. Bollocks. Bollocks. And I'm out of rods. Bollocks. Now I think about it, I wonder if that's because the two on the base ran out of fuel. I honestly rather prefer to stop using those, so if that is the case, that's probably fine. It's gonna hurt. Ow. Yes. Apparently not. Okay. Yes, these were out. Let's never use them again. What is next? We should probably do this. Start getting rid of all that. All right, we should probably go on a little bit of a chainsaw run. Clear up this. And then bring that concrete one into this level as well. And then probably that concrete limestone. I don't know if Knight sent them to you as well, Rydog, but apparently there's somewhere in Black Ops 6 where you can see all your stats and your friend's stats. Your headshot percentage is much better than mine. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh yeah, my number of headshots is a lot higher than yours. But yeah, that's like I think my headshot percentage is 9%, and I think yours was up to like 14, 15, something like that. Maybe even higher. Dear. Oh, I'm going to want to go into that deep dark cave at some point. Alright, we must have 200 cable line around yet. Ah, dear. And cheers for the commercial as well. It is appreciated. We got more than enough rods. Steel plate is probably... no, we do have enough. We need to make some more screws. Alright. Ow. Do actually want the solid biofuel to go out first, and I think that means it's got to be at the front here. Oh no, maybe it's the... okay, there's the back. You don't know how you got so busy, but you sure as I did. Oh dear. I mean, I have an idea, but... Oh dear. All right, I think after this we're going to push for Mark II belts, so we can start using this, making this factory a little bit more productive. Oh, I need to put the MAM down as well. down in here?
Milestone reached. The assembler can produce more complex parts, including the first project part, smart plating, which is crucial for initiating project assembly. Project parts
You're still
must be
contemplating
delivered
the
to
Xbox
space
2?
elevator. By completing your
Nice.
contracted duties as part of project assembly, you will definitely be helping achieve Fix-It Company goals without any other ulterior motive. Note: humans cannot craft project parts. Do not worry about your inadequate crafting skill when compared to an assembler. Fix-It cherishes your innate human abilities, such as walking, striking objects, and commodifying natural resources.
Thank you. I mean, if PCs keep on getting and PC parts keep on just getting more and more expensive, I think consoles are going to be the way forward again. This is exactly what PCs did last time. What did I come up here to do? I was going to build over to the concrete. Console, there'd just be the PlayStation. Yeah, I think Xbox. I don't know. Are they going to try and get on the Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch type idea, and just have some kind of device that can leverage the power of the internet and servers? So if you want to play it on a big screen, you can just plug it in and. Or will it just be an app? Will it just be an app where you just download it on your TV and you play through the app? Or your phone, or whatever you happen to be using at the time. Alright, so... yeah, I have a feeling it might be in the app. Subscribe to Game Pass. Get your app wherever you want it. No, that probably is how we're going to end up doing that. Okay, so then we don't have Mark II belts. This goes straight into constructors. But again, I will say, if the hardware market does keep the PC hardware market does keep on going the way that it is, they may well do another console just because they'll be able to sell it for a reasonable price. Which is how you're playing your MLB game until they took it off the Game Pass for this year. The trouble is, once Game Pass becomes the thing, it's just going to be Netflix all over again. I remember when this only used to cost you £1? Not anymore, fuckers. Right, so then... when your PC craps out, I can't keep playing the game. Do you want to play? You're done with PC? Sure, yeah. going to delete that belt for now until we can feed this with a 2, because then we can do... It would only be 2. Alright, let's concrete back on the go. Thinking about streaming with the Xbox on your PC, you know you need the Elgato capture device, but that only has USB-C, which your computer doesn't have. Will it run okay for a hub? And we do also need an HDMI switcher for the PC. Okay, so I think my first question would be, you're going to try and stream it through the PC so you can have like all the alerts and stuff going off. I don't know how good streaming just coming off the console has gotten. So it might be worth looking into that. I don't know what you can do just through the native app now. I have no idea. If you're going to put it through, and that way you're not taking up the TV from Mrs. Rydog. Yeah, but I mean, you can still use your monitor in your office just to plug your Xbox in and just stream straight from that if it's any good. The capture card, as long as you've got USB 3 on the back, and again, I would check in on the details to see if it doesn't come with an adapter dongle for the USB-C cable to USB-A, which will then plug into your PC. And you shouldn't need an HDMI switcher for the TV, because it should do pass through to your monitor, and then assuming your monitor has got more than one HDMI port, that should be okay. Or what you can also do, which is how I did it when I was using the PlayStation when my PC died that one time. Normally you can see the stream coming in to the PC, and you can play it from that with almost no latency, and just have that on your monitor instead. I don't remember there being any latency for it actually coming through the USB port into the PC. No, you would need the capture card because that's what captures the Xbox into the PC. If you're just going to stream from the Xbox itself, then no, you don't need the capture card. Like if the, because I know at some point they were adding alerts, or they were going to add alerts and stuff to the Twitch app. I would imagine you can probably plug your fancy microphone into the Xbox as well if you want. It's just a USB microphone you've got. I would imagine that would be pluggable into the Xbox. Maybe if you just stream from the Xbox like back in the day and have your bot open, yeah, you could do that as well. That would work. Oh yeah, that would work because I don't know, how does that work with the mic? Probably doesn't work with the mic. You know, that wouldn't work with just the mic because there's no way it's got an input. You got a JBL headset from working for mic. Maybe just try that. That should work as well. All right, and we were doing something. But yeah, that's I would probably like just someone's got to have done like a YouTube video or something about how the Xbox integrated streaming stuff works and looks like now. It may still be shit, and you may want to get capture card, right? Like I said, I do not know. Okay, so then I think with this, one of these other iron ones down here, we're going to bring that up and try and do purely screws. We're going to want to build it out this way just because we've got more nodes over there that we can tuck into afterwards. But I am going to need more. What am I out of? Iron plate. All right. We never uncapped this one, which means I'm going to drop down. Yeah, let's do it. Even though it's going to hurt. God, we're definitely not getting to coal. Okay, it's a little bit awkward, but I can live with it. All right, so that's going to bring up 120. We can only deal with 60. So 2 smelters. That might also be a little bit awkward, honestly. Can I even put you in the right place now? This is just going to get more and more awkward. honestly surprised that didn't work. Oh, come on, now you're just being awkward. All right. We'll set it from the left. It's not quite perfect, but hopefully... Ah, you son of a bitch. That's too far. It's got that slight curve. That means it's not going to work. All right, so in fact, you just will not come out straight from it. Okay, there we go. I'm still not convinced this is going to work. Oh, this is so frustrating. Pressing the wrong buttons. All right, iron ingots. Iron ingots. I think I'll try and get power over here. Alright, we're probably going to have to add some more power soon, but that's fine. We don't want you to be merging up this way. And then we want to be making rods. We're making 60, so we can do 4. Oh, fuck. Stupid jump. This is why I should build safety railings. Runs and runs. Alright, let me try and break power out again. Let's break that line. Then we want to merge them up this way again. We're probably gonna trip the power. Alright, so we're now making 60 rods, and then they go into... Alright, so I can run 6 of these, but I can only do 60 a minute, so... We got a little bit closer to that than I would like. Do I have poles yet? No, they're in the Mark II thing. I don't bounce off it. I want to go up it. There you go. Okay, yeah, we should add a little bit more power into the system. We should also make a better way up and down. Alright, so if we add 2 more, this is the most we can do until we get better belts. And I'm out of iron plate, and that's up there, and you son of a bitch. I think I may have some ingots on me. Okay. You need screws and iron plates, right? Yeah. Oh, what do I need from man? We'll start making our way down that. Never want to waste limestone. Right. Iron plate is probably... No, it's definitely going to be the bottleneck here. Now, is there any way without causing too much mess? Absolutely none, because I'd have to take it from here. So we're only using half of the rod, so if I could put this onto plate, I could do a break here because that would feed those. Alright, that's 30, and then that would be 30 here, yeah. It's getting very messy for this early on in the playthrough, though. Very good one, Right Dog, and hope your one-to-one goes well. Alright, so then we just need to... that I've ended up putting it on top of that one is going to be real annoying. Oh no, did I do you wrong? How's that for really complicated? And I hate the fact it goes down there. But that should get the rods where they need to go. Alright, anyway, give me all the iron plate you got. Let me take all of the screws you've got. Still not enough for 50. Right, rods we've got enough on us. Concrete we've got enough on us, and there should be some in the bin. much as I would have liked in the bin, but that's fine.
Milestone reached. Fixit would like to remind you of your contractual obligation towards efficiency. Recreational use of belts and lifts does not count towards work hours and will put you on the list. Stay efficient, don't
There's a
disappoint
list.
Fixit.
Is the list a performance improvement plan? Is that what the list is? I think that's what the list is. Wire we're probably good for as well. Oh, hang on. Do we have some more iron ore in here? I can put through the thing that I destroyed? No, because I destroyed it. I also apparently didn't pick up the hard drive. All right, there we go. We'll do it by hand. Yeah, so tomorrow's stream, we'll see. I may see if I can get the Raspberry Pi thing going overnight, and then if I do, see we might just do a test stream outside, because I have no idea how it's going to work. We shall see. Do, 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 do. And plate. This is gonna take a while. And I think she'd give me just enough, like a little bit over. Just a little bit. That's how much I want you to wiggle it. Okay, so we can build the space elevator. I hadn't really planned on where to put that. Does it fit here or is this too small? Okay, so then I think the last thing we want to try and do today is get one assembler running. We will ultimately end up moving that, I'm sure, but alright, we need all the screws you have. Disappointingly small amount of screws. Alright, so does that give me the rotors I need? All right, now, how does one want to do this? Why did one just refer to as one? I think eventually we'll go up. Also, I may have put you too close. This is going to be one of those overly complicated things to try and get working. I mean, apart from that really ugly crisscross. Right, so I'm not... No, I am providing you with enough screws. And just about enough iron plate? No. We're doing 40, you need 30. Okay. But still, we're going to want another iron plate. The thing, but that's fine. We've got plenty of iron nodes. And then smart plating, if I remember correctly, is just... reinforced and rotors. Yeah. would be good to upgrade this all to a Mark II run, but that's going to be very expensive. Haven't made any yet. God damn. Oh yeah, we haven't got any smart plate whatsoever. Oh wait, we're already putting you into a bin, which I definitely hadn't forgotten. Alright, we'll load this with as many rollers as we can. Oh, I wonder what we got in the in our first hard drive. Ting 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 ting. Yeah, if we don't do the outside test tomorrow, chat, I think we'll start finally start Howard Halibut off. We'll probably come back to this Friday, maybe. Alright, it's just lazy for the rollers. Can grab. I mean, I guess I could just quite roughly. Alright, what am I doing? Oh yeah, there's right, because I'm taking storage first. Beautiful. Oh, bollocks, I've fallen off again.
Hard drive analysis completed. Alternative recipe selection available in the MAM. There's a way of comparing these so you can see if it's a lot quicker or not. 15 per minute. I think the one we're doing at the moment gets us 3. Ah, that's on. Nope, that just tells me that. Oh, it says 5. That is probably worth it.
Oh, we got free smart plating. We're getting there. We're not making rotors, so it's never going to go. But even if we do leave everything else running on the server, that's not going to complete. Oh, okay, I can't possibly feed that for a long, long time. Okay. Well, it's a little bit early, but this does seem like a perfectly good time to end for the day. We can put some.
This fruit, dub.
This fruit ain't dub shit.
Your enthusiasm.
Alright, that opens up some more things. But yes, chat, I think I am going to call it there. I hope you enjoyed. And I will be back tomorrow with something. So have a good one.